Hi guys, this is KlazartSC bringing another audio commentary, and this time I'm commentating on Game 2 of the Pro League matchup between SKT Team 1 and STX Seoul. This is going to be a Zerg versus Zerg matchup on, you guessed it, God's Garden, and it's going to be Calm versus TheZerg. Calm in blue at the bottom right hand corner of the map at the 5 o'clock position, TheZerg at the bottom left hand corner of the map, and it looks like he is going to be in purple. Interesting matchup. Again, I'm going to take this opportunity right now to reiterate my opinion that this map should be expunged from the Pro League map roster. I just don't believe a map that we've seen already in its short lifespan. 24, sorry, in my vigor I managed to knock my headphones off. 24 Zerg versus Zerg matchups, and probably nearly as many matchups in the other races. It's just not great. I like Zerg versus Zerg. I don't mind it too much, although it can be a bit of a lottery. But sometimes when you see players, shy girl eating ice cream, my. Anyway. we've seen some great Zerg versus Zergs in the past, but I believe a map where you're just going to see the same mirror matchup over and over again is not going to be the most entertaining map. It's not going to lead for the greatest amount of variety, and it looks like we're seeing a divergence in the builds here. We've got a 9 pool for the Zerg, and it looks like a 12 pool probably for Calm, although he might potentially go for a 12 hatch. He's got his overlord out. Yeah, definitely a 12 pool or 12 hatch for Calm. He's got his overlord, and unfortunately my phone ringing here, so I'm going to have to pause the commentary and resume afterwards. Hi, this is Fiona, and we're just calling to tell you that we've somehow managed to get a hold of your phone number, and so we'll be harassing you for the rest of your life and calling you about irritating products that you could possibly not have any interest in, but that's my job and I'm paid to do it, so I'm going to do it and pretend to be really polite and to be doing you a favor to irritate you even more than I already am because I'm a stupid BITC something. Well, all I have to say to Fiona is I hope she gets forced to make love to a Zergling. In fact, if it was up to me, all telemarketers would be strung up by their shoelaces and be eaten from the toes up by Zerglings very, very slowly. I think telemarketers and bureaucrats are the two classes of people that I despise most in this world, more than anything else. Right after the Teletubbies and possibly Orlando Bloom somewhere in there. I'm not sure where he would fit in the hierarchy there. Anyway, so back to the StarCraft. It looks like we've got the Zerg sending out his first 6 Zerglings. He's finally got them out. He's gone for a 9 pool, but unfortunately he's sending them in the wrong direction. He's sending them cross map, guys, and that's going to lose him any edge he might have had. The Zerglings now popping out for Calm, and maybe if the Zerg had sent them in the right direction, he might have been able to just get them up that ramp and harass Calm, who's gone for a 12 pool build, and now Calm is going to be able to secure himself and get a decisive economic advantage here. And this is the problem with Zerg versus Zerg. Once a player gets an advantage, they just have to defend until the Mutalisks come out and then they win. Rarely will see moments of genius and glimpses of brilliance by players like July and Jaedong and Savior, who would produce some great tactical maneuver or strategy to really sparkle up the game. But generally I find Zerg versus Zerg to be a slightly tedious affair. The Zerg coming up with the Zerglies, he's got almost twice the number of Zerglies at Calm. He's trying to break up the ramp, pushing up the ramp, now trying to take a couple of Zerglies out, but there's a drone there to reinforce the lines of Calm as well, and his defense holds. He just managed to hold the line, about 10 Zerglings of the Zerg to about 6 of the Calm. He managed to pick a couple of Zerglings off, but a second drone comes up the line and holds the defense, and Calm's defense is still holding. If the Zerg can get up the ramp here, he'll be able to wreak havoc to Calm's economy. Calm, still holding, however, and it looks like Calm and Mizma put his Natural Expo down as well at his protected Expo at the 6 o'clock position. The Zerg continuing to send streams of Zergling reinforcements through, but so far Calm's defenses are holding. Calm with some brilliant defending. The Zerg managed to sneak one Zergling through, but he really needed another one there to really be able to do any significant damage. Calm is now continuing to produce more and more Zerglings, and he's got that second Expo up as well, and so he's got a lot more larvae to use, so he's going to be able to hold his defense here now, and he really has taken a decisive advantage. Meanwhile, Spire looks like it was about to go down for Calm, and now it does go down. The Spire goes down for Calm. He's got the 2 hatcheries. The Zerg has only got 1 hatchery, and I'm not sure he's that far ahead in his tech, even though he did go for a 9 pool. He did get those speed upgraded Zerglings and focus on those early on, and he's only just started up his Spire as well, so he doesn't have any advantage in that respect. So it looks like a decisive build order advantage for Calm, and he'd have to make a big mistake to lose this game, and it kind of shows you why the Zerg has got only a 30% or so win rate versus Zerg, which is not really great considering he's supposed to be the Zerg, probably not the most imaginative name in the history of StarCraft, although we've seen some great ones in the past, although none occur to mind for now. the Zerg coming out with more Zerglings. He's desperately trying to break through that ramp, but Calm has got those 2 hatcheries, and he's going to be able to defend comfortably here. And this is, again, one of the reasons why I do find Zerg versus Zerg a little bit lackluster, because this is now just going to be a stalemate until the Mutalisks pop out, at which point Micro will win the day. But probably the Zerg will lose out to Calm, who has the extra hatchery, and it's essentially what we would call a build order victory, down to scouting. If the Zerg had scouted in the correct direction initially and seen what his opponent was up to, he would have been able to put pressure on him faster and take him down and get those Zerglings up the ramp, or if he'd even guessed the right direction. But unfortunately for him, he did go cross map, and Calm had his defenses in play, and now the Spire is up. So it kind of, it's almost like one of those movies where you see a lot of action, and then for like 10 minutes and then 2 hours of dialogue and then action at the end again, and those aren't really my favorite kind of movies either. So now it's basically just down to Calm to hold his nerve, to hold his advantage and finish this game off. And really in professional StarCraft, most pro players at this level, once they get an advantage like this, they don't let it go. He's got 2 bases to his opponent's 1, Mutalisks popping out for both players, and Calm, the Zerg really has the smallest of windows. Scourges meanwhile also for Calm, and again that's the advantage of the extra larvae. He's able to produce both Scourge and Mutalisk, and it's pretty much GG for the Zerg. He's also been forced to pull his Zerglings away because of his opponent's Mutalisk, so he can no longer landlock his opponent, and Calm is just in a very strong position right now. He'd have to make some sort of monumental error on a scale which we might not have seen for some time in order to be able to lose this game, but it looks like definitely the score is going to be 1-1. The Zerg coming in with his Mutalisk, with his last-ditch attack, more Mutalisks popping out for Calm, and he just has to hold and hold and hold and take advantage of his double gas that he's had up for some time now, until he's got a decisive advantage in the air and just finish Calm off. The Zerg coming in with, and meanwhile Scourge is coming in with from Calm to finish off the Zerg's forces, and the Zerg's Mutalisks being chased away, and really that's pretty much going to be the end of his challenge. He's doing some decent micro-circling his Mutalisks around, trying to get some of those Scourges, but he's lost all of his Mutalisks, and I'm not sure he killed even a single Mutalisk of Calm's. So and he GG's. So I think my use of the word decent micro there was perhaps a bit premature. Nevertheless, I think the Zerg, I'm not sure why coaches do this. I don't think it can do great confidence for a player who's got only 30% win rate versus Zerg. It's their weakest matchup. You put them on a Zerg versus Zerg map. I don't think that's something that would instill great confidence in your player, where you're pretty much telling them, I expect you to lose. I'm putting you there simply because I have to put a player on this map. This is a formality for me, and I just don't think that's the kind of thing that would give a player a lot of confidence. But anyway, guys, this is KlazartSC. Hopefully the next match will be a little more exciting. Thanks for listening.